Welcome back to Birch's Blessed Barbecue. My name is Michael Birch, and I'm going to show you how to make some tender, juicy St. Louis style ribs. Dry rub versus sauced. Spare ribs. Pick these spare ribs up from our local Sam's. We're going to be cutting them in the St. Louis style today. We're not going to do a full breakdown, but it's pretty simple. Inspecting it, see what we need to cut off. Backside, cut off the skirt. If we need to come back around to it, we will. Be our initial cut. Come through and cut through this cartilage here. Go right through that cartilage right there. We're going to take off this membrane. What you need to do to take off the membrane, come in. I like to grab a butter knife, come in. We're going to go 3. Keep it down against the bone. Lift up, grab our paper towel. Paper towel is going to help us grip it. And peel it right off. And that's our St. Louis style rib from our spare rib. And we are going to add in our second from the last video. And you can see the difference. This one had more meat on it, more stuff we could work with. So it's bigger and thicker. And this one, a little bit thinner, smaller. We have both our slabs of St. Louis style ribs trimmed up, ready to go. Now it's time to make our garlic jalapeno rub. Granulated garlic, ground jalapeno, smoked paprika, sea salt, some granulated onion, ground mustard, cumin, black pepper, oregano, sumac, white pepper, ground ancho. Give it a mix. Now we have our garlic jalapeno rub. We're going for a mild heat with the jalapeno, something to give it a kick and keep you coming back, but not enough to have you run away. Let's get it back in here and get it on our ribs. We have our garlic jalapeno rub. You see that? We have our garlic jalapeno rub ready to go in this container. We are doing a sauced versus dry rub challenge. Let me know in the comments what you prefer. Do you like a sauced rib? Do you like a dry rub rib? My favorite is the dry rub. There's nothing wrong with the sauce, but I just like a good dry rub on the rib. Nice and smoked and ready to go. So no binder on here. We don't need that. We're going garlic jalapeno rub on both of them. Both sides. Get it on the smoker. When we wrap it is when we will add the sauce. A little smoky. I can smell the jalapeno. We didn't want to go too heavy with the jalapeno. We're going for a low to medium heat. We want to taste the flavor without getting spiced out. At home, plan on cooking your favorite ribs. You can use any seasoning that you like. Sometimes I like a little sweetness on the rib. So you'll see that on one of them when we put the barbecue sauce on there. One sweet, one savory. Pat it in there, flip it over. Nice and heavy on the top side. Being generous with our rub. After we get all this rub on there, we're gonna let it sit and adhere for 15, 20 minutes. The salt will start to bring out the moisture on the rub. We'll know it's set in there. It's ready to go. Form a beautiful bark. Of course, this is a garlic jalapeno rub, so garlic forward, a little bit of jalapeno, some salt, pepper, onion, garlic, as you've seen when we made this rub. A little sumac for some brightness. Pat it in there. Get the rub on here nice and even. We got the ancho in there as well to help bring some other depths of flavor, so it's not just jalapeno, just enough to help bring out some more flavor in these ribs. Let's go fire up the pit. We were rolling on the Traeger Timberline XL today with some maple, some hickory, some oak. We got the temp set to 250. We're gonna smoke these ribs. It'll take about 4 to 5 hours. At around that 3-hour mark, we'll wrap them up. Since this is a dry rub versus a sauced video, we have Cosmo's honey jalapeno rub. I think it'll go perfect with these garlic jalapeno ribs with that rub we just made. And we'll see at the end of it. 5 hours at that 3-hour mark, we'll wrap them up. We'll wrap one with more dry rub. And then in the second one, we'll put more dry rub and some of Cosmo's honey jalapeno barbecue sauce in there as well. They'll go on for another hour. We'll take them off, we'll let them set. We'll let that sauce adhere. After about another hour, we'll take them off, we'll let them rest, and then we'll get into the taste test. I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out. This is a rub we're testing, our garlic jalapeno rub, so we're going to see how that turns out. And we just wanted to give you a fun video of dry rub versus sauced. Personally, I like a dry rub. Like I said earlier, I like a dry rub. There's nothing wrong with sauced. I had lost over 100 pounds, and when I started doing barbecue was within that process. So cutting calories and being mindful of what I was eating was part of that journey. So I leaned more towards making the best barbecue I could with only a dry rub, because we know barbecue sauce is adding 180 calories, more calories than we need that's necessary into our food. So I lean more towards a dry rub for that reason. Not to say a sauce isn't good. I've had this honey jalapeno rub before. I did it on some party style ribs, and now we're going to do it on this full slab of St. Louis cut ribs and see how that turns out. With that being said, you can see these ribs are looking at here. The salt is pulling out the moisture. It's going back into the meat, and this bark is set. So let's go get it on the smoker. Three hours later, we have our ribs here. They're looking nice and barky. Take a look at that. Yeah, garlic jalapeno rub is set. That's number one. And then we also have number two here. We have our foil for the one that is not being sauced. We have our garlic jalapeno rub. We're going to set some of that in here as we wrap it. The one that we are saucing, same thing. We're going to add the rub down here at the bottom. We're also going to add Cosmo's honey jalapeno barbecue sauce on there as well. So to get started, which one should we do sauce? You take a pick in the comments. Should we do the smaller one sauced or the bigger one sauced? Some of the rub. We're going to do the smaller one sauced. So we're going to take the big one right here. Look at our ribs. So I garlic jalapeno rub on there. Nice and barky. That's that pretty spare rib. They're not done yet, so we're going to get them wrapped up on the bed of that seasoning. For our sauced rib, we're going to set that to the side. Put a bed of our seasoning as well. Open up our honey jalapeno rub from Cosmo's. Get a nice bed of that down here as well. Let me just look at that. No, I didn't need to do that. But look how pretty that already looks, and it's not done. Sauce on the back side as well. Wrap them up. Five hours of total cook time later, and we have our ribs ready to go. We have our dry rub seasoned with the garlic jalapeno rub. Have our sauced ribs sauced with Cosmo's Q honey jalapeno rub, also seasoned with that garlic jalapeno rub we made. Let's slice into them and see what they're looking like. Easy. Here we have our sauced ribs and our dry rub ribs. You let me know which one looks the best. I'm gonna give you a taste test. Let's dive into them. It is time for our taste test. We have our sauce and we have our dry rub. Take a look at this one more time. Let's get a good bite. Right off the bone. Definitely savory. I'm getting the garlic notes with this being the garlic jalapeno. And we put just the right amount of jalapeno in there as well. I can tell that just by the kick I'm getting. It's low to medium heat, so you get it, but it doesn't deter you from eating it. If you like a little bit of kick, this is a good seasoning for you to try. Dang, that's good. Dang, that's good. Dang. Go ahead and get into our sauce rib. Like I said before, I'm more of a dry rib type of person. So if you're with me on that, I think you'll enjoy this. This has the honey jalapeno barbecue sauce on it. So this one has a little hint of sweetness. Not too much, but I like the brightness that the sumac brings out. Same rumble in this one, just with the Cosmo Q honey jalapeno rub on there like I showed you before. Feeling nice and tender right here. Ready to fall right off the bone. Well, yeah. This is good too, in its own way. So the same flavors, of course, because they both have the same dry rub, but the barbecue brings the sweetness, the honey sweetness that we would be missing here. So same flavor profile. If we were to make a honey garlic jalapeno rub, I think that's what this would be right here. Right off the bone. Still a little meat left on there. This one was thicker than this one. We could have left it on there for a little bit longer. It's phenomenal. I think you should give it a try. Dang, that's good. I know this was a comparison between the two, but they're both great in their own way. I love the dry rub. You're getting the garlic, you're getting the jalapeno, you're getting the sumac to bring in the brightness. All those flavors that we added in, and it's a right amount of salt that brings out the flavor. The heat's not too much with the jalapeno. Now you hear garlic, jalapeno, you're thinking it's about to be hot. You can't handle it. It's a subtle heat. You know it's there, but it's not going to deter you from going back in for another bite. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's go back in for another bite of this one. Definitely a little bit more tender because it was smaller. Either one of these, if you prefer the sauce, add the sauce. I would recommend adding something with a honey base. So I think it goes well with the jalapeno and the garlic. And then if you just want it by itself for a more savory rib, and it elevates the sweetness when we add the barbecue sauce with it. Of course, honey jalapeno. And you would think adding the jalapeno sauce or the jalapeno rub would be too much. But I think the sweetness contrasts with the heat helps bring the flavors together so it's not overpowering with the heat. I think it works well together. Let me know down in the comments which ones you prefer. If you like the sauced versus the dry rub, you let me know. You be the deciding factor. There are times and there are places I'm always going to prefer the dry rub over the sauced in their own way, depending on what you're feeling, what you're going for. They're both great choices, and I would recommend you to try it. And I want to know if you give it a try as well, if you make the rub, if you even go buy a garlic jalapeno rub and put it on your ribs. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe and like. Your time is now. I know a lot of us wait until we think it's the right time to make a move, but the right time is now. The job you want to have, the career you want to start. If you want to start making YouTube videos or doing content, pick up a camera, pick up your phone, make a video. What are you interested in? What are you great at? Everybody has a gift. God has blessed us with gifts. And your gifts, our gifts, will make room for us. Once we stand in our gifts, We develop our gifts. We lean on not our understanding of thinking, I'm ready. When I'm ready, when I have this one, whatever you have right now, that dream that you're thinking of, that life you want to live, there's something that you can do to take a step right now. I don't want you to wait until it's too late. You're waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is going to come too late. I told you before, I wanted to do this content stuff. It wasn't barbecue stuff at first. And I was always into cooking, watching cooking videos. And barbecue came from me seeing how my family got excited about brisket. And I'd already, like I said, been into cooking. I'm watching cooking videos. So I just went in a deep dive on barbecue. I started paying attention to it. I started looking into it. But it came to the point of all the research and the development and learning as much as I could. I could only go so far. I could only go so far until I decided to take the step and do it myself. I had an old grill that you can get from Walmart, like the Walmart, what they're called like expert grills. And I two-zoned that with only charcoal, no wood. And I called myself smoking a brisket. I was really just grilling a brisket in a way. It was offset. There was no smoke, wood chunks in there at all. I two-zoned it. Charcoal over here, brisket over here. Didn't have any fire management control. And the heat was up, down, 500, 300, 450, all over the place. But I learned from that experience. Ribs. I didn't know how to cook. I just had to put them on the smoker. I eventually got a smoker, and I just put them on the smoker. And I learned I needed to cook them longer. All right? I took them off too early. They weren't tender enough. They were stuck to the bone. You had to really tug to get them off. But I just been like, all right, next time with the brisket, I'm going to change these things up. I'm going to give it time. I'm allowed to render. Ribs, I'm going to give it time. 5 hours. Let's do 5 hours. How do I want to wrap it? Do I not want to wrap it? That's how I got here today to this method, how I cook these ribs. Was trial and error. Because the sooner that we go out here and make a decision, we get feedback. And with that feedback, we can make new decisions and better decisions. So I'm just telling you to start now. Start with what you have. If you have to fail, fail. Because all that means is that we learn quickly. Now we have new information that we can apply to what we're doing. No matter what it is, the job, the career, the hobby. You can do it. And I don't want you sitting around waiting for the perfect moment anymore. It's not going to do you any good. You'll just keep waiting and say your time's coming. Your time's not coming because it's already came and it's right now. If you're seeing this right now, I want you to make that decision. Are you against making that decision to become all that you can be? Are you against getting that job? Are you against starting that career? No, you're not. So whatever it is, I love you. God bless you. And leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.